People's Radio 89.3 FM. Broadcasting from Ibadan or your state brings you wholesome programs for you and your family.
Come and see West Radio, your preferred wholesome radio, 89.3 FM na baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM na you be your girl. Come and see West Radio, your preferred wholesome radio, 89.3 FM na baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM now you be your girl. The news that is sweet and cool, entertainment that makes you happy, sport, education and family affairs. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM now you be your girl. Come and see West Radio, your preferred wholesome radio, 89.3 FM now baba. Come and see West Radio, come and see baby, 89.3 FM, now you be your girl. West Radio, 89.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio.
A very beautiful morning to you. Welcome once again. Happy new month. Today, the first day in the month of July 2026. And may this new month bring fresh hope. May it bring joy and happiness. Good morning and welcome to Perspectives Unlimited. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies and a bit to keep you abreast about happenings around Nigeria. Because as I would always say, the conversation that concerns the growth of Nigeria is the business of you and I. And so every single time we have to keep talking about it because we can never get tired until we see the change and we see the Nigeria that we all desire. All right, so yes, welcome this morning. My name is Toluwaleke Alli. Perspectives Unlimited is that platform where we go beyond the news to help you make sense of some of the stories across our various national dailies. So alongside with the analysts in the studio this morning, we will be delving into our various national dailies this morning. But first, let's check out the front pages across some of our national dailies this morning. Today, 1st July 2026. On the front page of the Punch newspaper, above the masthead, Borno abduction. Parents list 36 missing children as youths protest. That's on page 7. NDC uploads Obi Dixon as INEC restores portal access. That's on page 30. Wabara BOT seeks INEC recognition for Turaki PDP. And that story is on page 12 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government to scrap GSS SSS structure, over 20 million dropouts. And the story is also on page 30. The lead story on the front page of the Punch newspaper for this morning, xenophobia. Nigerian embassy packed. 269 return as South Africa protests rise. And it has 3 riders. Fear, hunger, as Nigerians take shelter in embassy, churches. Returnees arrive Lagos. Federal government insists evacuation ongoing amid anti-migrant protests. Nigerians in South Africa, ex-envoys push for diplomatic dialogue. And the story can be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper for today. Discos earn 801 billion naira despite persistent blackouts. That's on page 22. Marketers reject fuel pricing curbs threaten shutdown. Marketers reject fuel pricing curbs threaten shutdown. That's on page 21. I never rubber-stamped foreign loans as Senate President. That's according to Saraki, and it's on page 12 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Flood waters submerge homes, disrupt power supply in Lagos. The story can be found on pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. And the final story on the front page of the Punch newspaper, 79,323 killed, 34,773 abducted in Nigeria in 6 years, according to a report. And it's on page 7. So to read more on that story, check out page 7 of the Punch newspaper for this morning. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper now. On the front page of the Guardian newspaper, NDC granted access to INEC portal uploads. That's on page 3. Switzerland returned 23 cultural artifacts to Nigeria. That story is on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper. Terrorists recruit, raise funds online. Army warns. And the story is on page 3. The lead story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Coastal states worry as floods disrupt Lagos economy amid disease fears. That's on page 6. ASU chapters threaten strike over unimplemented pact. The story can be found on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Atiku asks Tinubu to suspend probe Gbajabiamila as group cautions. That's on page 4. Violence, tension in South Africa as federal government evacuates 271, seeks compensation for Nigerians. That's on page 6. INEC worries over vote buying ahead of Osun polls. And the story can be found on page 5 of the Guardian newspaper. INEC registers 1.57 million Nigerians in severe exercise. That's on page 7. And finally, on page 4, TED Fund charges Nigerian scientists to develop Lassa fever vaccine. That's all on the front page of the Guardian newspaper for this morning. On the front page of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, above the masthead, Federal High Court issues new 2026 pre-election practice directions, repeals 2022 rules. And that's on page 13. Airfare in Nigeria rose by 20.86% in May. That's according to a report, and it's on page 6. Federal government to scrap JSS SSS separation policy. That is on page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The lead story reads, candidates list APC governors to meet Yulwatda. And as for riders, political parties begin upload to INEC portal. PDP, NDC, LP confirm receipt of access codes. Wike-led PDP receives code as confusion hits Turaki camp. We have uploaded Obi's name, says NDC. And that story is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Amotekun arrests father, 3 sons over kidnapping, rescues victims, and it has a rider recovers ransom in Ondo. That's on page 16. Gunmen kill 3, injure many at mining site in Plateau. That's on page 16. Lagos residents express frustration over recurring flood. And that story has a couple of riders. Lament destruction, fresh panic as downpour enters second day. Government sues for calm. Sanwo-Olu approves immediate dredging, maintenance of 28 additional primary channels. Story can be found on pages 4 and 16 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Thousands march in South Africa to enforce June 30 anti-immigrant deadline. That's also on page 30. Under the health column on page 8, climate change linked to rising childhood stunting across Africa. That's according to a study. On the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, Niger varsity students block VC, protest robbery attacks. The story is on page 8. Federal government to demand compensation for abandoned Nigerian businesses in South Africa. That's also on page 8. Access codes, not yet Uhuru for ADC, PDP, NDC. That story can be found on page 10 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Questions over Phantom Council. That's the lead story, and it begins on the front page and continues on pages 3 and 4. Police launch manhunt as gunmen kill 2 cops in Rivers. That's on page 6. Aggrieved aspirants caution APC over candidates' replacement. Story can be found on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Stakeholders warn of higher costs as grain tax takes effect. That's on page 20. And the final story on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. How 23 Sokoto residents, Kebbi youths, died in road crashes. And that's on page 6. Finally, on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, Finance Minister defends federal government's borrowing, 6 commercial dispute tribunal. That's on page 19. Evacuated Nigerians, federal government to seek compensation from South Africa for abandoned properties. And that's page 5. Discuss an expose on Herbert Macaulay, the first Nigerian nationalist. That's according to Buddy George, and it's on page 14. 79,323 killed, 34,773 abducted in 6 years, according to a report. and that's on page 9 of the Vanguard newspaper. The lead story reads, Lagos underwater, floods sack homes, paralyzed commuters, commerce. That it comes with a picture of flood in Lagos, showing a picture of Oshodi bus stop as of yesterday. And it has a couple of riders, drainage encroachment, and indiscriminate waste dump, major cause. Ikorodu Road, Yaba, Ikeja, Onyigbo, flooded. Residents stranded. Go Palace Way, Bagada communities submerged. Flood submerged parts of Ishashi, Iba, Ojo, Okukomaiko. Residents beg government to clear waterways. Lagos moves to stop federal government reclamation plan at Kuramo Beach. Orders demolition, sealing of buildings on drainage alignments. Lagos will continue to provide safety resilience. That's according to the commissioner. And all of that is on page 10 of the Vanguard newspaper. Outrage over army personnel's assault on Union students. That's on page 30. Borno school attack, 37 children still missing, according to parents. And that's on page 7. And finally, U.S. Supreme Court blocks Trump's bid to end birthright citizenship. And that's on page 8. And those are the stories across some of the front pages of our national dailies for this morning. Welcome once again. Remember that you can watch us live on Facebook at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, and on YouTube, Wales Radio 89.3 FM. Joining me on the show this morning is our analyst, Chukwemeka Munachi. So good morning, Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Tolu.
All right, happy new month to you.
Okay, so today is...
Yes, welcome to the second part of the year.
Thank God for his mercy.
Yeah, we thank God. All right, let's begin with this story on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Xenophobia, federal government to seek compensation from South Africa for Nigerians' abandoned properties. As 269 arrive Lagos in second government evacuation flight. 603 repatriated so far. South Africans can't force law-abiding migrants out. That's Nigerians in South Africa. The federal government has said it will seek from its South African counterpart compensation for Nigerians forced to abandon businesses and other valuable properties as they returned home following renewed anti-immigrant tensions in the country. This came as 269 more Nigerians arrived Lagos on the third government's evacuation flight, thus bringing the total number so far evacuated to 603. This comprises of the 268 airlifted on June 11 in the first batch, 66 evacuated on July 25 in the second batch, and then the 268 that was brought home yesterday. And then speaking during an appearance on a television broadcast as the evacuees touched down in Lagos yesterday, the acting Nigeria High Commissioner to South Africa, Temitope Ajayi, said that the government had already begun compiling records of businesses and properties left by the returnees. And he added that information will form the basis of discussions with the South African authorities on possible compensation. One of the fears that a lot of, Nigerians in South Africa had was coming back home. Of course, everyone knows that coming back home, if there was something to come back home to, it would have been much better. But already things are a bit tight for those that are here in Nigeria. do you think that the compensation will go a long way, or would there even be any compensation for them?
If you ask me, Tolu, I will tell you that, South Africans made it very clear that they are after undocumented migrants. If those properties left behind were those of undocumented migrants, who will compensate them? You entered into the country illegally. You made money illegally. As far as you are not documented, you don't have any valid paper to stay in South Africa. You have lost it all. It is not Nigeria. Nigeria is the only country where you can wander in, not even walk in. You can wander in, do whatever you want to do, and get away with it. It's not done. So this issue of a compensation, as far as I'm concerned, is a ruse.
So should it be our government that will then...
Look, Nigeria cannot even negotiate from a position of strength. If those people are undocumented migrants, how do you expect a country where there are laws to compensate you for allowing your people to come and live in their country illegally? If they are those of documented migrants, fine. Government has a strong case. Those properties, it is still possible to get something out of it. But if it is people who wandered into South Africa illegally, how do you go and even present the case? That's the question. That's, like I said, it's not Nigeria. This is where you walk in, even open bank account, do business. A friend of mine told me sometime that one guy took him home on a bike, and he was along the route. They had a conversation, and they asked him, "Where are you from?" He said, "Sudan." All the way from Sudan to come here and do Okada business. If you go to the social media, you see a lot of young people that were arrested. Some from Cote d'Ivoire, some from... What are they doing here? Nothing. In the area where I live, we saw a group of young people. They just rented an apartment. I was not around. But on a Saturday, I saw the movement, and I look at them. I called somebody. I said, "These guys are not Nigerians." He said, "Yes." The man is a landlord in the area. He said, "Yes, they are not Nigerians." I said, "What are they doing here?" He said that all the landlords in the area have even gathered all of them. They live in a flat, and they're taking them to police station. And when they go to police station, they ask them to identify themselves. They are not from Nigeria. And they ask them, "What are they doing?" They say they came here for one business, online something, all this online something. And they don't have valid papers. Police let them go. They don't have paper to stay in this country. That is Nigeria for you. So if people are securing their country...
But when is it supposed to be handed over to immigration?
In fact, when the man told me that, and I said, is it not immigration that's supposed to come and even take care of this young they say they took their passport, they took their this thing, that they should... What is the meaning of all this? It is only here, Tolu, that's why Nigeria is a lawless place. People, they know we are lawless. So they come here and add to our own problem. Some of these people that are doing kidnapping, some of them are from Futajelon. They're not Nigerians. From Mali, from Chad, from Niger, everywhere. They come here. It's a bazaar. You can kidnap as many as you want and they will pay you. And yet, somebody is saying that Tinubu should not be blamed, that he doesn't have to put on khaki. No, it's laughable that he has to give. Has Trump not been giving order? Trump gave order, and yet they bomb other places. What is wrong with which means that if he's giving order and people are not obeying his order, then he has lost it.
Maybe it's those that are supposed to be carrying out.
If you fire them, if I'm the president of this country, Tolu, and I tell you, Tolu, go to Mobile and arrest people, and I will fire you. Why should I leave you in the portfolio where I gave you order as a commander-in-chief and you didn't do it? I will fire you. But because of ethnicity and everything, we will not fire them. Why? And somebody is defending such failure, and you are saying that he doesn't. Trump did he go to Iran? But he gave order. Did he go to Lebanon? Netanyahu, has he gone to? But they gave order, and the soldiers obeyed the order. That is it. If soldiers don't obey your order, which means that you have lost it.
So shouldn't we hold the soldiers responsible?
We should not hold. Did you vote for soldiers? Did they take oath to protect Nigeria? No. Did you vote for soldiers? Did they swear an oath to protect Nigeria? The commander-in-chief is the everything. If the country is sinking, you are the reason why it is sinking, because you swore an oath to protect lives and property. So if lives and property are not protected, nobody has any right to come and defend you and say that you don't have to put on khaki. What does that mean? You hear all manner of things coming from people that are, you hear what people are saying, you begin to wonder what is wrong with us. How can you say that? Look at now what you said. How many thousand people killed? We are talking of what is going on in South Africa. They have the right to defend their country. If we can't defend their own, so be it. They have the right to defend their own. There's something that I'm taking away from that demonstration. Imagine South African government did not breach that freedom to demonstrate. They allowed them. I listened to Cyril Ramaphosa. He said they should do it within the ambits of the law, except in some pockets of, in some areas where there are flashpoints. People, and they arrested those people that went on the looting spree. Can Nigerians come out today and protest against insurgency without soldiers or police coming to shoot? Is it possible? VDM came here to do it. Don't you see how it was disrupted? Is it possible? So I can see that the democracy is even stronger than our own democracy. That is democracy. Democracy gives you room to demonstrate within the ambits of the law. Honestly speaking, if we have such an environment, Chukwuemeka Munachiso, I will lead protest peacefully. But we go out to the street today, they will shoot you. First of all, some even tell you, go to your state and protest. That you are not a Yoruba man. We say we had it in this country where some people came out and say they should go to their state. What does that mean? So what I'm saying that South Africans, Nigeria will never be compensated if what they are asking for, if what was left behind are properties of undocumented migrants, no country. In fact, it is anybody can take it. But if it is the property of those that have legal documents to stay in South Africa, Nigeria has a case. But if for others that don't have any valid paper, Nigeria doesn't have a case.
All right, let us move on to another story. We've talked about insecurity already. You've mentioned it briefly, but Borno State, I'll start from the one in the Punch newspaper and then link it up to the reports that we have also in the Punch newspaper. We're starting with the story from Borno State. Borno abduction. Parents list 36 missing children as youths protest. There was tension in Lassa community, Askira Uba local government area of Borno State on Tuesday, as parents listed at least 36 children missing from a deadly school attack, while angry youths confronted a government delegation sent to sympathize with victims' families. The attack, which occurred on Monday at the Government Day Secondary School, Lassa, was carried out by suspected ISWAP terrorists during the National Examinations Council examination. The assailants reportedly killed 2 teachers and abducted an unspecified number of students. And following the incident, the state government dispatched a delegation led by the Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Abawa Kilbe, to the community on Tuesday to assess the situation and commiserate with affected families. However, the visit turned chaotic as youths and relatives of the abducted students rejected the delegation's address. The angry crowd chanted, "We don't want," insisting that government officials should prioritize rescuing the children. And the youths repeatedly shouted, "We don't want any talk, just go and bring back our children." As tensions escalated, efforts by the commissioner and his team to calm the situation and deliver a formal address failed, forcing them to retreat under pressure as the crowd became increasingly agitated. Now, this is, according to some youths, they even went as far as saying that they shouldn't play politics with their children. A parent said that his 19-year-old daughter remained missing. And, a matter of fact, a parent also said that some parents couldn't even find their children and they were invited to come register. And so far, they've registered about 37 names already of those that are currently missing.
People are missing. People are killed. Who do they hold responsible? Who swore an oath to protect lives and property in Nigeria? Is it not the president? And somebody is saying that the president has given orders that we should hold those who did not obey orders. Am I going to hold them? Who gave them the order? Am I the one that appointed them? It's not the president that appointed them. He's the one who should fire those who did not obey his order. Do you know when they were briefing him on what was happening in Iran, he was giving order. They were waiting for him. They said, no, we cannot bomb until Trump gives us order. And when he gives order, everything continues. Can you imagine if Trump will give order and those people in the Middle East will not bomb? They will sack them immediately. They will even court-martial them. And somebody is saying that the president has given order. We don't expect him to put on khaki. Who is asking him to? He's an old man. Nobody is asking him to put on khaki to go and fight. But he should do the needful. Is he not the one that appointed? Is he not the one that appointed Christopher General Musa? He appointed him. Is he not the one that appointed Nuhuri Badu? Is he not the one that appointed Matawale? Am I the one that appointed them? So if they are not doing exactly what you appointed them to do, what are you expected to do? You sack them.
Let's please hold that thought. Let's go on this commercial break. When we get back, we'll continue right there. This is Perspectives Unlimited on Wales Radio 89.3 FM.
Thinking of an all-in-one digital platform that fits your lifestyle and makes everyday payments simple, reliable, and fast?
Oh, wow. Yes, please.
Allow me introduce you to BillStation, your one-stop digital payment solution for individuals and businesses. Built to simplify payments and services for millions across Africa. With BillStation, you can buy cheap airtime and data, pay electricity bills, send money instantly, make online payments, and book flights and hotels. Enjoy our overseas airport pickup services, interstate bus ticket sales, and event tickets, all on BillStation. Fast, simple, reliable.
Wow, that's amazing.
Visit www.thebillstation.com. Download the BillStation app on the Apple App Store or Android Google Play and get welcome bonuses when you sign up. Enjoy fast customer support and a seamless user experience every time. Get in touch with us today.
Email thebillstation175@gmail.com or sales@thebillstation.com.
WhatsApp 091 6858 1914. BillStation. Your world, your money, one station.
Are you hungry for something delicious? Food that feels like home but tastes like pure luxury? Then welcome to Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile. From our smoky jollof to rich ofada sauce to a variety of delicious soups like egusi, eforiro, and more, paired with your favorite proteins and hot, freshly made swallows, all made for you to enjoy. We also handle bulk orders in liters, fresh and ready whenever you need it. We deliver it to your doorstep. At Honeydew, it's not just the food, it's the feel. With our beautiful ambience, perfect for your romantic dates, family outings, or your quiet, relaxing evening escape. Join us every last Friday of the month at 7 p.m. for karaoke night with Jayola and enjoy music, games, food, drinks, and free mocktails and cocktails as you sing your hearts out. Visit us at Plot 42, Block 8, Alaafin Avenue, beside Wells Radio, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. For your doorstep delivery or inquiries, call or WhatsApp 0814-691-6635, 0814-691-6635. Honeydew Restaurant, where every meal is made to make you smile.
How long will it take you to confirm payment? I have been waiting for the past 1 hour. I'm so sorry. Our network is slow. I will just run out of data. Same excuse yesterday. It is unacceptable, please. You better switch to One Data Internet Service. One Data? Yes, One Data. One Data is an internet service provider with the best alternative and solution for unlimited speed. One Data provides fast and reliable internet service to organizations, homes, and places of interest in Nigeria. With One Data, you get to enjoy the premium internet service with dedicated unlimited internet speed at all times, 24/7 fantastic customer service and support, and you enjoy a 1-month free subscription when you make payment. Now is the time to say goodbye to downtimes. Sign up with One Data today on 0811-223-2671 or visit www.onedata.ng for more inquiries. One Data, unlimited speed.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3394. Ayo on 0706 840-7359. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
All right, welcome back. This is still Perspectives Unlimited on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We're talking about insecurity. Now, before you continue, there's also another report in the Punch newspaper that says that 79,323 have been killed and 34,773 abducted in Nigeria in 6 years. That's according to an investigation by Observatory for Religious Freedom in Africa. So they've revealed that 79,323 people were killed in terrorism-related violence in Nigeria between 2020 and 2025, while 34,773 civilians were abducted during this period. The abduction of school children, is still very much is one that a lot of parents are concerned about. Borno State, just on Monday again, the ones that were kidnapped before now are still unreleased. The ones that were kidnapped here in Oyo State
still in the bush.
Still in the bush. This is another month.
And another kidnapping.
And another kidnapping again.
Yes, and that is why, you see, Tolu, I come from a culture that is very strong. I remember my father died at the age of 96. And there was something I learned from him. I grew up among my people. I saw how they do things. Do you know they have this culture where they said a man has shaved his tongue? I was small. I didn't understand what they mean by somebody shaving his tongue. And I asked my father, what does he mean by shaving a tongue? Are there hairs on the tongue? As a child, I was curious. He said no. That is a ritual they do. That you will never in your mouth open your mouth to tell lies. Once you shave your tongue. If you do, the land will kill you. And they all went through that processes. And that was why when there are disputes in the community, they look for men who have shaved their tongues, because they know they will not tell lies. Imagine such a culture. Imagine if such people are living in Nigeria of today. Imagine what they would have told the president. At the risk of losing their lives, they don't care, because they have shaved their tongues. Look at what is going on in our country. Look at people we have given responsibility to secure the land, and the land is not secured. And we are making excuses for them. Can we ever come out of this misrule? Can we ever experience good governance when elders are no longer saying things the way they are? When elders will see blue and say it is white. When elders will stand before the public and will not be able to, again, to say the truth the way it is. Look at what is going on in our country. Look at how much we have spent on insecurity. Are we secured? We are not secured. Look at how parents are crying. Look at how school. I met a teacher yesterday. I didn't even know that the teachers are still on strike. I said, are you not? He said no. That they said they will not go back to school unless. Do we elect people into offices to go and give us excuses? Didn't they know that we have a problem? If you employ if you employ somebody to work for you, and you are paying the person, if the person comes to be telling you excuses, what do you do to that person? You fire him, because I employed you because I have a problem, and you are not solving the problem, and somebody is going somewhere making excuses for you for not doing exactly what you swore to do for the country. Tolu, you don't need to leave as a leader. You don't need to leave your house. Your words are powerful. Look at how you came up and said subsidy is gone. Just how many sentences? And we are still in it. Can't you make on the same power, give marching order to people that you have employed to help you make your administration secure the lives of Nigerians? And they are not doing exactly, they are coming up to tell us we should go and learn taekwondo, we should go and learn martial arts. You should know that, look, these people are not giving me what I expected from them, because at the end of the day, it is your administration. Nobody will wake up tomorrow and be talking about Nuhu Ribadu. No, it's Tinubu's administration. Everybody will be talking about. And the earlier we do the needful, I don't know whether it is too late in the day. I don't know. Tolu. The issue of saying Nigerians should continue to pray. Yes, I believe in prayer. I'm a Christian apologist. But prayer works when you are walking. Imagine you are praying and you are not doing anything. God will, first of all, what is in your hand? That's the question God will ask you. You don't have work, and God will ask what is in your hand. He will bless the work of your hand. What are you doing to ask so that prayer will work? Do we all go into one corner and be praying while people are being mowed down by non-state actors that we are sending on pilgrimage? Non-state actors that we are pampering, non-state actors that we are even reintegrating without bringing justice to them. How do you expect that such a society will ever come out of its problem? I love Nigeria, Tolu. I'm a Nigerian, and I've seen the good of this country, and I'm still going to see the good of it, because I was here when this country was working, when we didn't have all these insurgents, when we didn't have this kind of leadership, when a leader will say something, everybody will catch cold. But now everything has been whittled down, because there are men out there, notable men, people that are respected, who will make excuses for your failure.
You can join the conversation 0916-893-1000, 0916-893-1000, or 0915-333-4893. Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Shadi Care.
Yeah, thank you. Concerning insecurity, only God knows when we are going to overcome all these kidnapping in the country. And our leaders, it shows that they do not even care. Just take a look at the UAE abduction. The people are still in captivity. No any data about them. So we are pleading that they should intensify their efforts to rescue these people. It is taking too long. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-3333-893. You can drop your text messages on those lines as well.
Hello. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
It's Ma Ruth calling from Malacca.
Welcome to the show, Ruth.
Thank you, Ma. Now, as regards insecurity, so it's so heartbreaking to keep hearing about people being killed and kidnapped across the country. So if this just continues without reaction, it shows the government is failing to protect its citizens. So Nigerians are tired of this insecurity. It's time for action, not empty promises. Come 2027, Nigerians must wake up. But we can't continue like this. So it's so obvious this government cannot offer us anything. We must make that change come 2027 election. Good morning.
All right, good morning. Thank you so much. Hello.
Hello, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, good morning. Oh.
Good morning, sir. Welcome
this
to
is
the
George
show.
calling you from Oleguero.
Welcome, Mr. George. Happy New Month.
Yeah. Same to you, ma. Chukwemeka,
Yes, sir.
thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too.
We will not stop. We will not stop telling them the truth. Oh. In heaven, there is no tribe there. We are all children of God. Let us do the right thing. That is what we are saying. Anyone that is doing the wrong one, let us tell the person. Our president should please stand up and save Nigeria. He should stand up and save Nigeria. I sent something to your WhatsApp page yesterday. Look at what is happening in Lagos about flooding and all the rest of it. And that is the state that we used to compare the president that is the state he deals. Everything is going down there. Everybody is now concentrating in Abuja where they are building houses and for every big man to stay. Is Abuja the only place we have in Nigeria? Let them come down and take care of the poor ones so that Nigeria will continue to grow. All what you said about South Africa is correct. May God bless you, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. George. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-33-893. Those are the phone lines for you to call to be a part of the show this morning. Drop your comments on Facebook at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, at Wales Radio 893 FM fan page, and I'll be sure to take your comments. You can also drop your WhatsApp messages on 0915 4999 893, 0915 4999 893. Let's take a look at the story also in the Punch newspaper. Federal government to scrap GSS SSS structure, over 20 million dropouts. The federal government on Tuesday announced plans to abolish the long-standing policy separating junior secondary schools from senior secondary schools after revealing that more than 20 million pupils are dropping out before reaching senior secondary education. Minister of Education Dr. Tunji Alausa said the policy introduced to separate junior and senior secondary education into distinct administrative structures had failed to achieve its objective and had instead worsened access to education across the country. And Alausa disclosed this in Abuja during the inauguration of the Universal Basic Education Commission Ministerial Implementation and Monitoring Committee. He said the decision followed evidence showing a huge gap between the number of primary schools and junior secondary schools nationwide, leaving millions of children unable to progress in their education. Is a problem of dropping out really because of the GSS SSS structure?
You see, Tolu, at times when we look at, when we talk about our country, we are not saying what we are saying because we hate Nigeria. We are saying what we are saying because we want Nigeria to move forward. We want Nigeria to be where it ought to be. Tolu, if we are running a true federal structure, federal government has no business with education. I grew up when it was regional. We had sound curriculum everywhere. At times we will be on break in the East Central State. The Southwest here will still be in school. There was healthy competition. The regions where they tailored the kind of education they need according to the needs of the environment. The military came, destroyed everything. That's why those who are calling for military rule, they don't know what they're asking for. The military will never offer you anything good. They destroyed education. They brought in so many things that we are hearing today, 633, 122, 999, all this and that, and brought heavy confusion. Why did they do it? They said some areas are educationally disadvantaged, and they want them to meet up. Do you hold people down because others refuse to move? It's only in Nigeria. That was where we started having issues. And because there is no template, there is no laid down template of where this country is going to. Every government that comes into power, we go and touch our education. What somebody brought in this 63333 and whatever, I think it was in 1977. We've been on it. At a point, it becomes 6444. You don't even know what. That's why some parents, when they go to school, when they visit some schools, they don't even know what they call a GSS or SS1 or SS. They will say, I'm looking for my child. They will ask you, is it which year? They don't even know because the parents are confused. Now, where did they get the data to find out that there are dropouts, that children are dropping out? You know, they did the same thing with those that want to go to university and read education. Now you removed the scores. What kind of teachers are we going to produce? We have a problem, Tolu. Do you know that before you become a teacher in UK, Tolu, is like you becoming a medical doctor? Because they know the value of a teacher. That a teacher, education look, education is the bedrock of any society. And it is not for every Tom, Dick and Harry to come and touch it anyhow you like. This thing they are toying with now, we are going to see the consequences, because these things have consequences. What is our problem as a country? Education, we have touched it. We have touched virtually everything. And imagine if this administration comes to an end by next year, and another administration comes up. Maybe that one will tell us 112225. How do we continue this way? Alausa came up to say that I don't know where he got the statistics. I don't know how they came up again with common entrance, that common entrance will be scrapped, that the children, how did they come about all these things? These are things that made our education valuable. What is happening? Now we are going to GSS, SS2, we are going to scrap it. What are we going to, what? Now, if we scrap it and we bring another thing again, Tolu, if we don't restructure this country, Tolu, Nigeria is going nowhere.
But aren't all of these reforms supposed to actually
it is not, this one is not reform. It's not reform.
I mean, even with the NYC scheme now, there's a
I'm coming.
reform.
Yes, and you know, I said it yesterday. And NYC reform is good. Good in the area that it will bring in now scale acquisition. That is the area I said that it is very, very laudable. Scale acquisition, making it important and mandatory for them to acquire scale. Because most of our graduates are just certificated. They don't have any scale. And that's why they're not employable. And that's why many of them come out and throw their certificate at you and they have nothing to show for it. Because I'm not an educationist, but I know that education, but I'm a businessman. If you want to sell something, survey the area where you live and find out what will the people here need. If I begin to sell it, sell that thing. I remember a woman in our church, a widow. She was selling plastic in an area where people, and I asked them, how many people have come to buy your plastic? People will not come and buy plastic when they have Orita and they have Dubai. You know, asked me I said I don't know, but make inquiries. I began to work with her. And we discovered that some of the people living in that area, they are not high-class people. They are people that can be using charcoal. I said, start selling charcoal. And the woman is in business today. That is it. You have to that's why they call market survey. It's not until you go to school and read business administration. Native intelligence will tell you, can you take pure water? Can you sell pure water in the place where there are boreholes all over the place? You will not sell. So what I'm saying is this. The education must be tailored according to the needs of the society. Any education that is not tailored is just a waste. People will go to university and come out and not. That's why they are looking for jobs all over the place, because nothing. And our education is tailored to create. It's not tailored to create employers of labor. It's tailored to produce job seekers. We should graduate from training children, sending children to school to produce job seekers. Let us tailor our curriculum to produce people who will create jobs. That's what we need. And it will start from early stage, exposing children to what they are good at. That's education. It does not, look, some people believe that if you speak good English, you're educated. It's a lie. English is another man's language. It's not a sign of intelligence. I've seen a lot of fools who can speak vocabularies and they have nothing upstairs. It's not about speaking English. It's about doing exactly what you know you will do well because you are educated in it. So this GSS 333 thing that I don't understand where we are going to again. Tolu, I'm confused myself. And I know that a lot of children will be confused. Why not? Why? That's why I said if we are running a true federal structure, federal government has no business with education, just like we are now waking up to state policing. State policing is the normal thing in the federal structure. Even local government police is not the and now we are talking about states generating their own power. Gradually, let us make sure that let's decentralize these things. Let people take care of some areas of their lives. Leave the federal government alone. You have no business dabbling into education. You have no business. It's left for the states. I grew up when regions were in charge of their educational system, not the federal government.
0916-893-1000. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, West Radio.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Salami. I'm calling from our WhatsApp. Good morning, Mr. Chukwemeka.
Good morning, Mr. Salami.
Welcome to the show, Mr. Salami.
Sorry, madam. Thank you, madam. You see, this policy somersault without any justification, without any reasonable justification, is not helping this economy. I don't know why the reason they advance for the this school dropouts or I don't know. For me, excuse me, is this really about the GSS structure or about the insecurity? Are they aware of so many parents that are withdrawing their children from school out of fear of being kidnapped? Are they aware of so many schools that are being shut because of this act of terrorism in Borno elsewhere? And currently in your state, are you not witnessing that? I was saying this thing about last week to a friend that we are talking of the high school dropouts in the north, sorry to say. It's not gradually staring us in the face in the south here. Is it as a result of the structure or the gap between justice and SSS? Or the government should tackle the insecurity? Insecurity is the number one cause of this school dropouts because people are afraid to even stay in the class. And this is one area the government should look into and not blaming it on the structure of the education. It's insecurity. It's just a mere political matter. I mean, they should do something about it. It's annoying, really. That's Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Salami, for that. 0916-893-1000, 0915-333-4893, or 0911-333-893. On Facebook, Adeomi Kazimadika says, good morning, well done. God bless Nigeria from New Garage. Matthew Adebayo Laleru says, good morning and happy new month from Ileru. Suleiman Sharif says, good morning and happy new month to everyone in the studio. Nobody has the monopoly of wisdom and nobody has the monopoly of violence. My thought is the federal government should consider imposing economic sanctions on South African interests in Nigeria, including taking over companies that are South Africans operating in the country. And then he said, regarding insecurity issues, state police is the best security approach ever. State governments could now be held responsible for the inability in their states because the federal government can't be responsible for security breaches in each state, hence local solutions to local challenges. All right, thank you so much for that, Suleiman Sharif. It's time for us to go.
Thank you for having me, Tolu.
All right. So thank you so much for being a part of the show today. The conversation continues. So Perspectives Unlimited returns tomorrow at exactly 6:30 a.m. As I would always say, wherever it is that you find yourself, always ensure that you put Nigeria out there in good light. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. Happy New Month and have a blessed month of July.